distracted. I feel like, woo! Hello, guys. Welcome to the Young Money podcast. We're just doing a little chismes on the background. Como está, Vince?
I'm doing okay. I'm Vince Galanco from WhenInManila.com.
And I'm
It's-
Diana Menezes, and this is the Young Money podcast.
Yep, it's a podcast where we talk about young entrepreneurs, young at heart, and we try to find out how they are doing in their industry and how they are making money and how much money they are making, which is, I think, what makes this podcast sort of unique. Is we try to
Yep.
get into the figures as well as the steps they take so that you too can maybe earn as much or more than our guests.
Ganon.
Hopefully,
Pwede.
hopefully.
How are
Um,
you, Vince? I'm like, if you guys watch us all the time, you can see that I got some color, and I'm really happy about it. I went to the beach for 2 days, not vacation, but work, and I forgot to bring my sunblock. So now I've been for 2 days. I've been bloated like crazy, and I learned my lesson. And it's painful, man. Like it's really painful. I haven't felt sunburn this painful, but I love the color. So
I'll put
I'm
aloe,
pink. Yeah, what?
aloe vera.
Yeah, that's what I'm using, like the gel from
Yeah.
Lamig Long. Oh my God. But yeah, today I'm excited, Vince, because our guest is a good friend of mine. And I've been to his house, I've been to his home. I know his wife. I know a lot of people that know him as well. He is actually very welcome in the modeling industry by all the models because everyone really loves him. And we also use his house for shooting spaces as well sometimes. And the good thing about him is I have a list of his achievements here that I wrote down, but I will let him talk about it, and then I'll give you just a personal insight of how I feel now. I didn't know this side of Jay when I first met him because I was just like literally modeling and seeing him all around with a lot of cool people. But then one day, eventually, I found out what he really does for a living, and I was like, "Whoa, that's amazing!" Now he's teaching the young people how to make business. So he put
What,
up his own school. Yeah. So
what
it's
this?
called
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, it's called the Startup Village, and it's in Makati. I don't know if they moved to San Juan, but I know they have also a space in San Juan as well where they welcome new people. Teach the young how to make business, teach the young how to invest, and I think that's essential in our generation. So that's
What does
Prof.
he have to do with modeling? Because you kept mentioning you see
Yeah,
him while modeling. What does he have to do with modeling?
he hangs out on the places where people like me would get to know him.
That
So
sounds
the
very vague. That
No, it
sounds like a
doesn't, because I
stalker.
don't. No, of course not. I don't.
Yeah. So no.
Vince. Hindi kasi, diba, you can see a lot of successful people, but not a lot of them get in touch with models or young people or a lot of like, basta, foreigners in the country. He he knows how to do that. And I don't know, and that's why I met him. Like sometimes if you go to a place and you meet someone who is like successful, sure, sometimes they go out, but Jay is specifically very much welcome in the community of people who are like new, young, in the country for a while, or sometimes they're foreigners, and everybody ends up being like family to him. So, and to me, that's unique. I don't know a lot of people who are like that. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm really confused on what he has to do with the modeling world and
Oh, let's
how
find
you met
out.
him. I'll ask him
Let's
the last. But
let's find out. Yeah, yeah. No,
okay.
because he helps us also, like with photo shoots and one of his businesses as well, like in San Juan. They have studios and they encourage
Okay. There
also
you
the
go. So
young
he has
people.
studios. That's how you know him.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think because he has a studio is how I know him. So let's interview him
Oh,
and
okay.
find out how did this all happen. But well, my friend Jay Bernardo, of course, Professor Jay Bernardo, and let's welcome him on the show and find out all of this. Jay,
Hi,
amigo.
Hello.
yeah, hi, amiga.
Welcome.
I was
Yeah,
laughing at the back because you were talking about me.
about you. Well,
It sounded like
well,
I
you
was a
cannot defend
stalker.
yourself.
Yeah, I think that's how she explained it. It sounded
No,
stalkerish. So.
it depends on how you look at it. Okay.
Okay,
No,
no,
no, yeah, I swear, the way he explained it.
I'll explain it later.
Yes, please explain that better. How you guys know each other and what this
Okay.
is? Because Diana kept saying she met you through the modeling world, but wasn't exactly saying how. So I wasn't quite
Okay.
sure. But yes, she gave a very brief description. Professor Jay, hopefully you can give us a more in depth sort of description of what you do, who you are, and what you do.
Today I'm actually a professor, and I'm a chairman of Startup Village, and I'm chairman of Bayan Foundation. Both organizations actually help people, entrepreneurs, how to become successful in business. One for profit, and one for more social causes, which is community building and other stuff. No? But I didn't start that way. I actually started as a traditional entrepreneur. I was a night shift supervisor that ended up coming up with an idea. And initially, I was a night shift supervisor for Johnson Johnson. And when I resigned and took my master's after that, I made a small proposal just to make the cotton bud stick, just the stick. I didn't have money at all to even start the business. I proposed to them that if we bring it out, we will save a lot of money as far as overhead and labor is concerned. And from that one stick, just the stick of the cotton buds, it grew and grew and grew because I weighed the stick, then the whole cotton buds, and then I went to baby oil, cologne, lotion, shampoo, bath. Almost 70% of all Johnson Johnson products were outsourced to me, and I think that is
Wow.
like the history of that. And I went to other traditional businesses. I wanted to try a lot, so I went into logistics. Up to now, I actually do logistics nationwide. I do that for Pfizer Animal Health, for White Swaco, for Zuitis, for so many other multinational corporations. Um, I also manufacture for the food industry. I make all your Quaker oats, Nutrigo, and all the other stuff. A lot of food and cosmetics. I make our company and our partners, we make 100% of all Unilab consumer products. Okay,
Wow.
um, so at that point, I call that the Old Testament business. And then,
Okay.
okay, that was my Old Testament business. And then my New Testament business was I started going into new stuff, something that I was passionate about, something that I liked doing. And one of that was actually going into photography. I ended
Okay,
up into
there we
photography.
go.
Okay.
Thank you. Because
Then,
I'm
yeah,
like,
I had to clear my name. I ended up in photography. I bought a partner to get a photo studio. And then I got close to the malls. I opened up my own modeling agency as well. Uh,
talaga, now, di ba?
yeah, with
Is that
Dream.
recent? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dream.
And then we opened up a Brazilian restaurant called
That's it.
Boteco.
That's
And
it. Sorry
then
about
the
that. I
more,
forgot about
yeah,
that
you
little
forgot about
detail.
that. That's the
That's where we
Boteco.
met. Okay.
Boteco is where all the Brazilians hang out. We give them the models free food so that they come over
It's
to
a
Boteco. That's true.
Thailand concept, by the way. If people are thinking that all models are starving, this is a thing they do, diba?
And then so many people started posting different things that interested me. So I went into whitewater rafting. I went into resorts. I went into different um, uh, restaurants. Wolfgang is part. I'm part owner of that as well. So
Wait, Wolfgang Steakhouse?
yes, yes.
We're partners. I'm a partner at Wolfgang's.
There you go.
Oh my
With
God, oh my
Raymond,
We've
God.
right?
never met.
Yes, yes. Which
We're
one
always
though?
at Wolfgang's
Oh,
because of Vince. I
I'm
didn't
part of
know.
a podium and BGC.
Okay, I'm the one in Resorts World.
Okay,
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
that's
so I never
why.
met.
Which I think aren't the core partners from Resort? Are you part of the core partners who?
Yes, 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 yes.
So you're also part of BGC and Podium, right? Sort
Yeah,
of.
but like I'm the quiet. I don't
Yeah.
know meetings type.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I went to that. I think that's the only restaurant that's surviving. I went to 5 restaurants; it all died.
Yes.
The only one that's surviving, which is amazing as far as what Raymond's doing.
Raymond knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And then I got into, because of all this, because I was so blessed early on in my life, I said I wanted to help more entrepreneurs. So I started up this startup village, wherein people can learn how to do business. So we teach people how to pitch and to create their business plans for profit. So this has been going on for the last maybe more than 5 years now. So
Mm.
we're there. We listen to a lot of different people pitching different types of type of companies or proposals or business plans. And then recently, um, somebody who I've been helping in the social enterprise world passed away last February. Dr. Ed Murato, who used to handle Bayan Foundation, was the ABS-CBN Foundation, uh, I've been board of directors with their social enterprise NGO. And when he passed away last February, he named me as his successor. So I ended up having leading the social enterprise that helps micro and small entrepreneurs in the business world. So now I have both, the helping side and the profit side of business. So I'm involved in both, and I teach also. I got to become a teacher of entrepreneurship. So I teach masters of entrepreneurship at the Asian Center of Entrepreneurship. I used to teach at AIM, but now we bought that school away from them. It's partnered with Ateneo Rockwell. So that's a short, quick overview.
Wow, a short ah.
Sorry.
Ang
But yeah,
dami mong ginagawa.
yeah,
Galing
and
mo.
I am in a lot of things. I told you I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a portfolio entrepreneur. A serial entrepreneur does the same thing all the time. I don't like that. I'm a
Mm.
butterfly. I'm a social butterfly, so I jump from one business to the other. So
How to be you po.
no,
Joke.
I'm involved in Siargao. I've been in love with Siargao. When I fall in love with a certain area, I have to do business there, so it legitimizes why I'm there. So I have a pharmacy
Mm-hmm.
there. I have a emergency clinic there, and it's called Island Doctors, and and a lot of other things there.
I can see Vince going like, oh my God.
Yeah, wow. It's like I don't know where to start with our questions and our. It's just that's a lot. I feel like we'll need to do like a
Well,
7-part show,
we,
maybe.
we started with the modeling already, so it's okay.
Can we clone you so we can have different guests talking about your businesses?
Yeah, yeah.
Galing
Diana was.
eh.
Yeah. So, well, let's talk a little bit about that social enterprise where you're helping entrepreneurs now. Tell me more about that because that is what the show is about. We're trying to help entrepreneurs as well to maybe figure out a field they might want to get into, see how much they can earn from it, and all that. So, tell me more
Mm-hmm.
about this startup village.
So, look, Bayan Foundation is the social enterprise. Silent Village is for profit. So, Bayan Foundation, we have a lot of programs that we teach people technology so that they could put up their own. They could be employed as tech people, or they could put up their own technology companies. Or we help micro small enterprise. We don't only just teach them, but we have a microfinance lending company that we actually lend, and we don't just lend money, but we really help you through the whole process. Okay, so if you're a small business person, then or is wanting to start up, then we could actually provide the capital for you. And most of our programs are sponsored by big corporations like Facebook, BPI, BDO, JP Morgan. So a lot of them use our channel for teaching the micro and small enterprises. That's what we do. So, and the in Startup Village is different. It is owned by private owners. So we have the likes of uh, Joe Magsaysay, who is part of it, who owns Potato Corner, and so many other people now who are involved in that industry of trying to bring out inventors and new ideas into fruition by getting them funded.
Nice.
And this came about from you wanting to help out entrepreneurs. Are there some examples of the type of help you guys give to these entrepreneurs who want to create a business or whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, even Diana has been there. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
I
the plan.
attended.
And that's why even I get a lot. They call me the celebrity professor because I have a lot of celebrities. Even Catriona Gray was my student for 12 sessions. So, right before
Nice.
she joined Miss
Miss
Universe.
Universe.
Yeah. So what we try to discover is like what we try to discover first is about who you are, and you have to have self mastery so that you know who you are and what type of business or what type of person or business person are you. This is the core of what we try to teach for you to discover who you are and where you are in the business. Because some people they don't like to, they're not very innovative, they're not very creative. So we tell them go to franchising or go to just buy a franchise so that you don't have to be pressured by all of that. Right? So we understand who you are, and then we help you. We guide you to coming up with a marketing plan, an operations plan, and a financial plan to your business, basically. And then we match you up with different investors. That's why, example, for example, no, Jinri Park, who was already left for Korea, started a business, and she found out that because she was so busy, the only thing that she really cared about during the time, and very passionate about, was jujitsu and her dog. And she ended up putting up a business about her dog, and it was the first uh, Tinder
Dating
for
app.
dogs. Yeah,
Oh,
The first
I
what? Say that
remember.
again.
it's a Tinder for
Tinder.
dogs.
Tinder for dogs.
They
Yeah.
created that together. Yeah.
So she got funded, and up to now, we had to close it during the pandemic, but we're reviving it again. Um, uh, and it was a Tinder for dogs, and a lot of people were hooked into it because a lot of times you don't find a mate for your dog, or
Okay.
okay, and then all the information about where to get the vet and what type of medicines and all that stuff. So for the dog lovers, then that's the place to go to. And that type of here's Jindy, doesn't have any business background. She was, and we had to guide her through, help her become her own entrepreneur, help her in the context of accounting, even of financing, even of legal items, so that
Mm,
she could learn how to go about that process.
And
nice.
and what is this called? The Tinder for dogs.
It's called Wagtails.
Wagtails. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Because
okay.
for example, we asked her. She asked herself. She said, "I want to know if my dog is happy. My dog makes me happy, but how do you know if my dog is happy? So if my dog's happy, he has to have proper care, proper food, and proper social life. And I
Fair
guess
enough.
for dogs is what it was. And it's also the place where owners meet each other.
Okay.
True.
Owners who
So,
love dogs. So that's one example of those type of and then for the social enterprises we have people who help out, let's say the Tublay weavers, Tublay in Benguet, and they put together the people of Benguet who doesn't make so much money, and then we teach them how to weave, and then we partner them with Zara One, who will design a bag for them, and they will create the bag, and now they have a livelihood stream because it's not only created by Tublay, but the Zara One community and the ABS-CBN group is the one promoting it here so that it can be sold.
Mm,
So this time it's different. It's community based. It's the purpose is more important first. It's to help a particular community and then figure out how we're going to be able to do that so
I
that
love
it
that.
continue.
okay.
I love
So,
that.
what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see entrepreneurs do when they're starting a business?
Uh, um, uh, One of the biggest mistakes is really falling in love with your idea too much.
Pana, falling in
Falling
love
in love
with.
with what?
Falling in love with your idea too much.
Why
Ah,
is that a mistake?
Yeah, sometimes you have to understand and put into your head that your idea might be good, it's interesting, but don't fall in love with it too much that you don't think that somebody else can improve on it. Uh,
Mm.
in that context, sometimes when you comment badly on a particular thing, they'll get mad, or they don't want to take the advice. I'll do what I have to
Mm-hmm.
do, and a lot of the investors get turned off by this, by somebody who's not very open to
To
getting more.
ideas, yeah.
Another mistake is not taking um, uh, what is money and accounting seriously. You have to know a little bit more. A lot of entrepreneurs start up because they're very good ideas and marketing people, maybe, but the accounting side, businesses don't die um, because of profitability. They die because of cash flow. That's why a lot of businesses during the pandemic uh, ended up closing because of cash flow. And it's cash flow that you really have to put a little bit more effort to, and trying to understand how much money you still have at this point, so that you could actually manage it very well. So managing business is really about managing the cash that you have around it. So that's something that you should take seriously. Don't just give it to somebody else
Nako.
to take care of.
I, I wish I met you before. That's
Ako
exactly my
din.
problem. Is I'm a creative type, so with my businesses, I hate the money part.
Me
But
too.
during the pandemic, when it was the first time we got tight on money because we didn't ever have cash flow problems. So when the pandemic hit and we had cash flow problems, we almost had to, we had problems. It was the first time. So, and it was because of the accounting, because I didn't pay that much attention to it because I hate the figures.
Yeah, so entrepreneurs usually are like that. They're not very much. They don't like the numbers very much. They just want to know how much they're making and how much is the net. That's it. That's all they want to know. So, but in bad times, oh my gosh, you don't have to learn the full accounting. You just have to know the questions that you have to understand. Like, how much money do we still have left? How long will it last? Where else can we get money? That's what what do we do to prioritize the cash? If a lot of businesses will die because of cash flow, then we have to take a very good look at the cash, right? Because the market's still there, the people are still there. They change methods though. They change methods of buying. It's now almost all online. But your
Yeah.
market's there, your brand's still known. But now, how do we generate the cash? That's the main issue. So even though you're not an accountant, doesn't really matter as long as you know what
Mm.
are the important questions to think of and what to look at. So now you know, Vince, that every time that something like this goes on, you have to understand how much cash do we have, how long will we last.
Yes.
Okay, that's why some people immediately, okay, let's cut salaries in half. It will make us last longer, maybe until we can survive, right? So some people did that. Some people closed the business altogether. A lot of experiences like this. So don't be shy. If you're an entrepreneur and you're in a bad time now, a lot of us are. Even I am. I closed a lot of my businesses. Even from the 1 month during the pandemic, I already closed them. And there's no shame. That's why I was saying, there's
Mm-hmm.
no shame that, oh, why did I close them? Why did I give them enough? Um, it's because of the cash. So if a particular business doesn't have enough cash, then I have to close them. If somebody can survive without the cash, with stretching the cash, then let them continue being open.
Okay, I like this episode because we're sort of giving general advice to entrepreneurs out there. In line with that, if someone does have an idea or wants to be an entrepreneur, but they've no clue how to start, let's say they're fresh out of college or they're still in college and they have this really good idea. Like you said, you were able to turn your ideas from cotton buds into something huge. So for people out there tuned in, they have an idea or they know they want to be an entrepreneur. What are the first steps uh, into becoming like you?
Well, not like me, like so many other people, but when you have an idea, you have to be able to put that into a complete plan, no, and not exactly a whole business plan that you're taught in college, or that you have to have a thick paper, no, but you have to have an understanding of how it will work, how big the market is, how it will work, and how are you going to finance it. As simple as that. Now, so people would like to understand and listen to that as far as you're concerned, both investors and probably clients that you will be having. So if you have that, if you're complete and you understand that, and even though your idea is not perfectly all right, they will give you more ideas and they will support you more. That's why we ask people to come to Startup Village, or if it's a small business and micro is small, wherein it could help the community, then please come to Bayan Foundation. You could check it out on IG or Facebook, any of those two institutions, and just state there that you are this person, that person, and we will definitely find a way to support you. In Bayan
Actually,
Foundation, most of the things are free.
yes, please tell us more about these two.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
Bayan. Yeah, tell us more about these two.
Okay. In Bayan Foundation, most of them are free. A lot of them are sponsored by our big corporations. There are even competitions that we launch. So we have the BPIC NAG competition, wherein if you're a social enterprise, you could actually pitch. We will teach you for how many days how to pitch, and then later on you will pitch. Then you will screen down, and they choose about 10 winners that will receive grants from $500,000 to 300,000 prizes for different organizations that will be helping others by putting up their own company. And we're not saying, when you put up your own company, you need to become sustainable and you need to pay yourself. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really a business, but that's a business with a heart. In Startup Village, it's different. No, most of the people are more mature, they're more educated already. They already have a somehow a plan in mind, and
Mm-hmm.
they just want to hone their skills. I remember Diana was there, and she already had her coffee, and she had so many other businesses already when she came
That
in.
time, yeah.
Yeah, so they already have some sort of idea, but we just now need to really hone it so that we can prepare them for pitching to other people.
That's amazing. You have success stories from Startup Village.
Ah,
I
you
remember
know,
the girls say they opened some stores in the mall in Alphalin.
yeah, there's a lot of different stories, but I like this. There's the most recent one, because you're about to ask me, so how much money can you actually make?
Yep, we're gonna ask you to show us the money.
Okay. Remember that there was an app company called Dream Tech recently. I don't know if you know her, Diana, but Richard, who used to help making the apps. Anyway, the
For
app
the
company,
for the celebrities, yun ba
yeah,
yun?
he was
I
helping out.
remember that. Oo.
So during the pandemic,
Hmm.
just recently, he was bought for $1 million. His company for $1 million. Not only, but he will still run it. He will still own 40% of the company, and the person that bought it was 60% from New Zealand. Imagine, somebody
Wow.
from New Zealand bought the company and now wants him to operate both in America, in Dubai, in Japan, and New Zealand. So now he became much richer now, and still has a better paying job and shares, and opening up new businesses around the world. So he's about to do this in 2022. He's about to get paid in December of this year, of
Nice.
this month. Yeah. So I'm a part of that company. I sometimes invest on some of them. I don't invest any big amounts of money anymore. I'm just like a small investor all the time. So hopefully I get my Christmas bonus from him. So
Sa
if I
dami mo
like
naman investment eh.
if I like an idea personally, I invest on it myself. No, if I like a particular business, I invest in it myself. I get involved myself. But nowadays, I don't want to be majority. I just want to be a minority part of it. I like to see the people's journey and people become successful, and I want to be part of that success. And I'm kind of retired. I'm more helping people, but being an entrepreneur, you can't stop. You keep
Hindi
on
nga,
still
how
growing.
come?
You can't
What
stop.
birthday was it? In Siargao tayo. Mas malakas ka pa sa akin. There's no, you still have to be around, Jay, to teach us a lot of businesses, okay?
You
You're
know,
helping a lot of people.
I had COVID, right? I almost died last
I know,
month.
I saw,
The
yeah.
more, I was
Can you
8 days
share
in
a little
hospital.
bit?
I was severe, and it like strengthened my belief in my purpose. I was brought here to help others in their quest for entrepreneurship. So that became stronger because now I'm handling a social enterprise called Buying Foundation, and I'm handling
Mm-hmm.
Startup Village. So I'm more concentrated on helping others now than putting up my own. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't be. My companies, by the way, they're still running, and you'll be so shocked that, for example, my manufacturing plant, I only go there 2 times a year. My logistics company, which I 100% own, I only meet them 4 times a year via Zoom. And my other companies are like this. So not only will you be learning how to put up a company, but how to sustain it and manage it. In that platform, we have the ACE Center for Entrepreneurship. We teach masters of entrepreneurship to very successful companies already. But this time, it is how to sustain it, how to become professional and in productivity and doing the right things already. Maybe you guys should go into the masters of entrepreneurship as well.
I would
I
love
would
to.
love to.
I
Oh,
really need
sabay.
that.
Right? Nowadays it's online, so it's much easier to actually do it.
So back in line with our question of showing us the money, maybe we could also give more figures on for people tuned in. Maybe there are figures we can give, like roughly how much. I mean, it's of course going to depend on what business. It's so generic. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
is there a specific capital that most businesses need to start with, or at least like maybe you could let us know, like you need enough money to survive these many months, or sort of
No, it's
when
not.
should they make their money back? How much money? I mean, are there generic numbers for just for
They're not. They're not.
okay?
Okay, because I take it from my example. I tell people this as well that when I started, I had no initial capital. I really did. I had a good idea. I presented this idea to the head of Johnson Johnson, and he basically told me, then you have to figure out, where. Of course, what the first thing that I had to do was ask money from family and friends initially. I told them the three things: family, friends, the three Fs: family, friends, and fools.
Family, friends, and
And
fools.
fools.
And fools, the people I can fool. So I said, initially I started very, very small, and it's like going up the mountain. You start small, and then you'll see some opportunities. But as you go up the mountain, you'll see more. And as you become successful going up the mountain, more people want to invest on you. More people want to join you. More people believe in you, and the money will no longer be. It's never about the money. It's never about the money, because there are several ways for you to get it. There are competitions that you could win. There are investors that can invest on you. There's so many. So never make that as an excuse, because if not, your ideas will just be limited to amount of money that you have in your pocket. And if you don't have enough money, then you don't dream big. That's why people say dream big and start small. It really means it. We really mean it. That start small and then go up the ladder. There, if you find a shortcut, then great. But normally it will require a lot of cash. And remember, always businesses die because of cash. So you have to figure out where you will get the cash if your business is successful. And when your business is successful, people will give you cash. The banks will give you cash. Investors will give you cash and all that stuff. So the thing to do is to make this very small thing successful. And then figure out now that, how do I multiply what I'm doing? How do I make it bigger? And now people, and pitch to the bank, pitch to friends, pitch to blank, and people will support you with cash. So don't start with the amount of money you have, or else
Mm.
it's only going to be up to a certain amount. And sometimes you could trade what you know, right? I mean, if let's say Diana, I want to partner with Diana, I'll say, Diana, can you be our marketing? Can you do this? We'll pay you 30,000 a month or 50,000 a month for promoting it. But instead of paying you, can it just be shares that we will pay you for? So
Like
1 year,
Beyonce, she
yeah,
did
right?
that for
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
once we do that, then you leverage what your skills are and what you have into cash, and then buy shares.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you have to leverage. It has to be very clear how much it is worth and how much shares it would be worth. So that's how much. So when I started out, I think I had about 170,000 pesos. In about, I know you like numbers, so I came out in the first Entrepreneur magazine when it was launched here in the Philippines. I was one of the first because it was 800 million in 6 years. No, my first 6 years. So that was the speed that it was going through. But remember, it started with a business that was like earning less than a million in gross sales for the first 6 months. And then after maybe 1 year, I was already earning 1 million pesos net. No, so you wouldn't see that coming. You just have to concentrate on doing the thing that you're doing for this small thing, and then thinking now on how to multiply it, and where to get the cash to support the multiplying. And remember, getting the cash when you are successful is easier. Getting the cash without you being successful is going to be harder. So
Mm.
if you want to be successful on something, you start small. So if you start small, you could manage it, you could make it successful, and then you could say, hey, I don't care if it's big or small, but I'm successful in this small little thing. And people are going to invest in you because you are successful. People like to invest on winners. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to invest on somebody like, how much sales do you make? We don't have sales yet. Oh my God. I mean, let's go to the next.
Who is
So
the next
people like
next
investing
candidate?
on Twitter. Yeah. So the people like say, so what did you do? Have you ever tried it? Have you ever started it? So if you have done it, even in the smallest scale possible, then there is already this trust that you can actually do it, and all you need is support to multiply it.
Jay, I have
Yes.
a question. Bakit wala ka pang Shark Tank dito sa Philippines? Dapat ikaw yung nandun.
oh, Startup Village is like Shark Tank.
Huh?
Oh yeah, Startup Village is like Shark Tank. That's the way it goes. You face a group of
Yeah,
investors.
sa bagay.
Well,
True,
we don't
true.
have a television show for it. One of my students does have. See, John Aguilar.
I was about
Mm.
to say, yeah, on CNN.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've
yeah,
seen
so
that. Yeah.
John is the one that put up. I'm not in that business. I don't want to coming out in camera. So I only get interviewed like this, but I don't want to be coming out as a showbiz type of person. I'm in the
Yeah.
real world. So the people that you meet are, and a lot of the entrepreneurs, investors, they don't want to be known. So they don't want to come out. It's not showbiz for them. So
Yeah.
so they're there. They say if they want you, and then they'll invest in you.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could have 7 shows again, as I said, or
Yeah.
more with you. And I feel like you're just such a natural at teaching and giving advice. But sadly, we are short, so I think Diana has to give her key points right now. And
Oh
we're,
my God.
we're going to some
Hirap ng
final
key points
questions.
dito. Ha!
Or,
Jay!
yeah, go ahead, D.
Ang hirap ng key points dito. Usually when we have a guest, what I do is like I take my notes as a interviewer, and then later I'm gonna read the key points of the things that about that particular business that the guest is doing. But with you, I think that's challenging, right? So, well, I guess it's just basically if anyone listening to this right now would like to start their business, you know who to look for here in the Philippines. He has a startup village and also the Bayan Foundation, and of course, they will help you, to basically structure your business and know where you're good at, what is your forte, what is how much cash do you need, and start small but dream big. Yun yung na-take ko talaga na imagine niyo, you can always listen to a person who started with 170,000 and it made it in 6 years, it grew to 800 million. That's amazing. That's crazy. That's like, you should have a documentary, amigo, about this, literally, yeah, to inspire more people, because I don't think people realize that they can actually do businesses with people like you if they don't have the information or the knowledge that you're around, you know what I'm saying, or the awareness of you. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
It makes my job harder to give key points only because you're amazing. So yeah, thank you for being on the show and for teaching us even more. I want to get in touch with you even further. And I'm glad that I connected you guys and you guys are in the same business without knowing the Wolfgang thing.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I've never met most of our partners. It's sort of just
Yeah, that's how it is there, right?
silent investors, and kind of you don't.
You know,
Yeah.
somebody actually wrote a book about me and my story.
Oh,
So, but you
what is
see,
it?
I'm too shy that I actually bought all of them.
No way. Make it an
Yeah.
audiobook. Oh
No,
my
no, no, no.
God.
So I bought
No?
all of them so that it won't come out.
I got that, but like, sayang. Can I have it?
Yeah, I'll send you one. I'll send you one.
Thank
I'll send
you.
you one.
And then before we go, I want to ask you, like, what is the last piece of advice you would give to anyone listening or watching us right now that would like to start their business? Wala silang, I'm not gonna say wala silang balls, but I would say wala silang, alam po, yung parang takot, syempre, walang cash flow eh, di ba? Hindi nila alam kung paano yon. So what advice would you give us all?
Be humble, know yourself, and seek help. And learn. Learn is the number one thing. I mean, learn by watching this type of shows. I mean, if whoever's listening here and you listen to this show, and for example, you hear this, then hopefully you'll call us. Don't be shy to call us. We are here to help you. So that's what I think you should understand. Be a master of yourself. Learn all the time. Watch shows like this. Go educate yourself. Even self-educate, it's free.
Yeah.
And learn. I didn't know anything about business. I forgot to tell you. I'm in the streaming business as well.
I was gonna ask you next. What a synchronicity! As you talk, I was gonna tell you. Wait a minute. You hold some of the biggest streamers, and you didn't talk about it.
Yeah. During the pandemic, I opened it up, but but I learned it. I learned that business, and now I'm in the gaming business and in the streaming business. And we have one of the bigger agencies in a particular channel, in a particular app, that we have people earning 150,000 a month just streaming. So
can we guess you again for that? So
yeah, no problem.
I ask it on air so that Vince is aware I'm asking. Okay lang, Vince.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. I could bring other people.
What app is this? Or what streaming business? Or
it's in Bigo.
Okay,
Bigo is like Kumu is local,
Yeah.
Bigo is global. But I have like 200 hosts now, and they host, and some of them make 100,000 a month average. Some of them make 150,000 in 15 minutes. That's how big it can be, depending on how good you are as a host. So, and anybody can be a host.
What is that girl on Biba, Mateo? Is she your talent?
Ann Mateo is
Ann Mateo.
in. Oh, she's already like her own. She's like earning like maybe $500,000 a month.
What is her connection with you? I remember.
I used to be her manager. I produced her first TV show.
Nice.
I never went into that as well. I went into TV production, so and did all of that stuff. So Ann Mateo is now on her own. She's a professional gamer.
Nice.
$500,000 a
Amazing.
month.
Ang galing mo. Ang dami mo ginagawa. Thank you for being on the show. Oh my God, Vince, ano masasabi mo?
Yeah. It's a.
He's like
a lot of everything. So, would love to pick your brain on more things in the future. But wow, those are really, really cool stories. So if people want to connect with you, if they want to ask for more advice, if they want to reach out to your the Startup Village or any of your other.
Well, the easiest would be Facebook would be Professor J Bernardo, or Instagram is Prof JB. But both Startup Village and Bayan Foundation, you could just type it out and Google it, and you'll get all the ways you could get in touch with them. No? But for bigger entrepreneurs that want to professionalize their business, It is Asian Center of Entrepreneurship or Masters of Entrepreneurship. So it's a master's degree program for entrepreneurs.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to our wonderful, wonderful guest, Professor J. Bernardo. Really appreciate all the great advice. Oh my God, I feel like I need to take a class now in
Ako
entrepreneurship.
din.
Just from the short talk, I learned so much. So do connect with the Professor J online if you have more questions. I know we gave very generic advice because he's in so many different industries. But if you do have a business and you need specific advice for your business, he might also be in that business, so he might be able to give you advice. So we're way over time. So just thank you again for tuning in, everyone. On behalf of our guest, Dr. J. Bernardo, I'm Vince Galanco from wheninmanila.com.
I'm Diana Menezes.
And this
Thank
was
you.
the Young Money Podcast. And we'll see you guys next time.